Hello people, it's me, Lumi, with my trusty Grouse partner.
Help me.
And I'm here now for the second album review on this channel. My first one was of Trooper Salute's debut album, and I just want to thank everyone for the warm response that video has had. I'm truly grateful. I've also heard some of the criticism that review has received, mainly that my voice did get a little hard to understand at points, and I understand and will be more careful this time, speaking a little slower and I guess trying to enunciate my words better. But yeah, this reception has confirmed that I will definitely continue reviewing for some time, and do it with my trusty Grouse partner. How are you feeling, Grouse?
I don't know. I'm shocked after learning that I have to be here for every review.
Great! So today I'm reviewing the latest album from Muse, being the Wow Signal. Now, Grouse, what do you know about Muse?
I remember you being obsessed with them years ago.
That's right. I've been a fan of this band for a while. I listened to them a lot in my earlier music listening journey, and I can't help but feel things were simpler back then.
Yeah, I remember the time you would always answer Muse whenever I asked what you were listening to. Now, when I ask, it's always something different, and it's always some bullshit like Tropical Foxstorm. Like, can't you be normal or something?
No. Anyways, I will say, like most people, I think Muse's later works don't live up to their classics like Origin or Absolution or Black Holes. But that does not mean I hate everything they've done since then.
You don't? Didn't you tell me you never wanted to hear the words well, the, of people next to each other ever again?
Well, yeah, I did. But I also do think The Resistance and The Second Law are pretty cool albums, and Drones and Simulation Theory do have their moments.
Like what? Don't tell me you like propaganda.
Well, I kinda do.
You just lost all credibility as a reviewer.
Well, regardless of anything, the WoW signal seems to be generally hyped up as a return to form by many fans and their best album in 2 decades. And that is harder for me to gauge since I have not really had a viscerally negative reaction out of a Muse album until Will of the People. But I will say I definitely understand where people are coming from, as this definitely doesn't have the cringes of Will of the People or Jones, and it also doesn't feel super different for Muse the way Simulation Theory or The Second Law did, as it's very much a rock odyssey that feels like flying through space. There are even 2 singles on this album that are very obviously throwbacks to old Muse, being Cryogen and Hexagons. Cryogen really feels like a callback to Plugin Baby, and my Fangirl Lass is really buying into it as that is my favorite song on the album. It may be cheesy, but it's too damn fun. Hexagons, on the other hand, I do have some milder feelings on, even if I do still like it. I think because it feels too much like a callback and not enough of a strong tune by itself, like if it was on an older album, I think it would have been one of the weaker tracks there, but it's still not bad at all, it's enjoyable enough.
I really feel like I've been transported back a few years with this Muse talk from you. This is so nostalgic.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I'm also nostalgic for Wet Leaves. Can you give me some?
No, Grouse, you don't want to get fat again.
Says you.
Well, anyways, the WoW signal starts off with the track The Dark Forest, which definitely is a very space-like and epic opener that feels somewhat Resistance-esque. I'm not head over heels for it, but I do find it generally enjoyable, especially with the grand instrumental guitar part at the end with the Latin chanting. And that directly leads to Nightshift Superstar, which is a disco-infused track kinda like it's from Simulation Theory. But I think if it was on Simulation Theory, it'd be one of the best songs on there, as it's definitely really fun, definitely one of my favorites here. Next song is Shimmering Scars, which is a piano tune, which is something I know Muse can pull off very well, and they certainly do so here.
No, the chorus is so overblown it may as well be Imagine Dragons.
Well, as corny as Imagine Dragons can be, that doesn't mean they always are or that better takes on their style of large choruses can't exist. And while I don't love this song, I certainly enjoy it while it's on. And with these three songs, I think this album has a fairly decent start, and it does up the ante to something truly great on the aforementioned Cryogen, which is track 4. Though not everything that comes after that song hits for me, unfortunately. Be With You, for instance, I initially found sweet, but listening more and more, I just started to think of it as a very bland ballad that I feel inclined to skip midway through because it's already boring by then.
Damn, no attention span ass.
Unraveling and The Sickness in You and I are two songs I'm kinda torn on, as both songs are kind of metal influenced, and as someone who has been listening to a lot of metal recently, I don't think the metal infused riffs on those songs go as hard as they're intending to, even if Unraveling does kind of redeem itself by having a beautifully soaring chorus. Hush is a song featuring Ellie Goulding, and I think I do like the song as it has some of my favorite melodies on the album, but there are definitely a few changes I would make to it. I think a point in which Matt and Ellie are singing in unison could go super hard, and having parts of it flow more smoothly could also be a nice change because parts of it do transition kind of weirdly.
You would know a lot about transitions, wouldn't you?
And the closer Space Debris to me also just feels bland and boring. And oddly, the vibe of it feels a lot more fit to soundtrack something underwater than it does something in outer space. Which may just be a me thing, but it does feel very odd. But overall, I wanna say I'm pretty fine with this album. Is it an improvement over Will of the People? Definitely. Is it their best since Black Holes? And here's the thing. I think I am warmer on the Second Law and Simulation Theory than most people, and I think those albums have some higher highs. But regardless, I am still fine with this album. Even my least favorite songs on it don't annoy me that much, and I'm pretty much a fan of some songs on it, especially Cryogen. And I want to say, it's a cheesy album, but I do enjoy some cheese at points, so I don't mind it. Like, it's not annoying cheese like it was on Will of the People or the worst parts of Simulation Theory and Drones.
It's still cheese. I prefer leaves.
And the last thing I want to say is I'm glad to have listened to the album a few times, as Muse were a fairly early stage band for me, and there was something comforting about going back to them after a while.
So the tier now?
Yeah, I'm feeling a wandering grouse on this, and if you don't know what that means, look in the description where I explain the tiers. And if you want to tell me your thoughts on this album, be sure to do so in the comments. And if you like this review, be sure to like and subscribe, and of course, praise the grouse. And if you have any feedback to share, I'm all ears. That's all. Bye, people.